Hi everyone. So this is Ray again. I don't really know how I should do this. I think if I do like my whole life story in chronological order, uh, to me, it's not going to make sense. So I'm kind of starting from the end. Disclaimer again, I am not a life coach or a therapist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist. As I said, this is just me sharing my experiences and hoping that it could help someone. So the other day we spoke about some stuff. And let me tell you where I am at right now. So it's not the ending, um, but it's where I'm at right now. Now, when I was a little child, I always envisioned living in a nice home and having all the necessities, but that's not the way I grew up. We grew up really poor and people looking down on us. Now I am not rich and I am far from rich, as I said before, because I do live from paycheck to paycheck, but I am entirely grateful because everything that I wanted when I was a little girl, um, I have achieved it, and I have achieved it alone. And well, I shouldn't say alone because I had some help along the way, but I used to envy passing by big homes and looking at people's homes and then look at where I live, and people would talk about us. Females did not like me, and I couldn't understand like why, because we had nothing. I had nothing. So there was no reason for people not to like me, but hey, it is what it is. So I'm at a point in my life where I was able to get what I wanted as a little girl, a home. I have the love from my kids and the ability to put food on my table. And if I can help others, I help as much as I could because I'm a very emphatic person. I have empathy and compassion towards others. So for you, um, as I said, just don't give up. Um, I also got into the habit of asking for what I need and not what I want because that was a habit I had of wanting things and not being patient, wanting things and not being patient, not realizing that if I'm not getting something, it's because it wasn't meant to be. That wasn't my path. It wasn't my direction. So if you are feeling like you want something, you want it now, and it's not happening, uh, maybe that is not the path. Maybe that is not the direction, and you're being directed where you are supposed to be. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I stayed awake all night. So this is where, as I said, this is where I'm at now. I had a lot of trials and tribulations, and I am not perfect. I'm far from perfect. I have made a lot of mistakes, and I have to take accountability for those mistakes that I made as well, which I'll talk about. Uh, One of the things that held me back a lot was being abused as a child, both physically and mentally. So that took a toll on me. And you know what I don't understand? Why, when a child is um, sexually molested, it is called abuse. You know, to me, it is not abuse. That is rape. You know, that is rape. That is not being. That is not no sexual abuse. You're being raped as a child. I've had that experience, and it was by three people, three men that my mom trusted. One being her best friend, who was a guy, because she was a single mother and she worked a lot. So she felt safe to leave. Us girls with her, she only had two children, a boyfriend of his, and would you believe one was my very own uncle. Now I have been ashamed and embarrassed to even put this out there, but I just want to be able, if I could reach somebody, to help somebody and let them know that life goes on. Um, please know that life goes on, and it hurts, and it is emotional trauma. Someone had told me to try and get over it. It's not something that you could get over, uh, not at all. But this is the uh, a little part of what I have been through, and I am still standing. I have my good days, and I have my also bad days. And as I said, I'm not in the habit of speaking to anyone about my thoughts and my feelings or what I've been through, except people who are very, very close to me. It's something that I keep very deep inside, as well as I'm not confrontational. You know, I prefer to sit or watch and listen or walk away when there's arguments. And I've been told it's not a healthy way of communication, but it works for me. All right, so now that I've told you guys where I'm at in life in terms of getting things that I wanted or hoped for, that I wished for when I was a little child, it's not like I own a home or anything, but I'm in a place where I'm comfortable, and it's a nice home, and it's something that I've always wanted. It's not the way I wanted it to happen, and that's life. Keep hope alive. I am sending you lots of love, and I'll be sharing more of my stories. So take care and have a good one.